In 1948, after the end of the anti-Japanese war, the swan song of the battlefield played out all day long. The team, led by Marshal Chu Qianzhen, with bayonets and courage, makes a large number of Japanese troops top gun, and that was quite a pleasant scene. Then, after the beacon fire of the anti-Japanese war is extinguished, why are the two sides facing off again on the battlefield? New friends, don't forget to like and follow. Explore together the story behind this ultimate showdown. Sioux forwards rapidly, locked in strategic realignment. By 1948, the War of Liberation is in the middle, a fundamental shift in form. The People's Liberation Army launched a large-scale strategic counteroffensive, sail all the way to Shanxi, facing the leadership of Yan Xishan, North China First Corps. The focus of the battle is on Taiyuan, Xinjiang and Linfen, the heart of Taiyuan Shanxi. Strategic position is self-evident. Xinjiang granary in Shanxi, once controlled, grain and grass replenishment profit is thin and worry-free. Linfen is the gateway to Jinan. Take this place, a panoramic view of the entire mountain system. But Marshal Zhu's forces are only 60,000. It was poorly equipped. Most of the new recruits come from the farmland. In comparison, Yan Xishan has been working in this part of Shanxi for a long time. Bing Dojang hero, well equipped, with nearly 130,000 men. But Marshal Zhu is a battlefield veteran. No matter how arrogant Yan Xishan is, there's always a way to make him helpless. Just stepped into the Shanxi battlefield, Marshal Zhu immediately started playing sports warfare. Take advantage of Shanxi's terrain. Put the authentic Shanxi Lao Yan Xishan, go round and round. Although Yan Xishan has advanced weapons and equipment, but in the face of the furious offensive of the People's Liberation Army, and it was pretty much a success along the way. Make the soldiers in the Jinan area end quickly. Then Marshal Zhu led the troops straight to Xinjiang. This hard bone in Xinjiang is not only the granary of Shanxi. And just in time for the wheat harvest, Yan Xishan naturally won't let go easily. After all, if you miss here, he and his team are going to be hungry, and he knew that. After Marshal Zhu captured Jinan, it will definitely move in the direction of Beijing. Therefore, he had a heavy army in Xinjiang early on. Elite, the secret weapon that the entry and exit company has been reluctant to use. The 10th Teaching Corps composed of Japanese. All sent. Yan Xishan never expected. Facing his iron copper coin, Marshal Zhu's strategy is better. Marshal Zhu was not in a hurry to attack. Instead, by blowing the wind in the newspaper, claims to rest in Linfen. In fact, it is easy to deceive Yan Xishan without drowning Dan. Yan Xishan has been recruited. A large number of elite soldiers were transferred to the band. Flaws appear in the Taiyuan line of defense. Marshal Zhu seized the opportunity. In one fell swoop, the Jin and Sui armies between Xinjiang and Taiyuan cut off contact. They were completely surrounded. This wave of operation, it not only showcases the wisdom and courage of the People's Liberation Army, it also completely disrupted Yan Xishan's deployment. It laid the groundwork for the final victory. I thought the People's Liberation Army was resting in Linfen. Who knew they were sailing? Good craftsmanship halfway through. The People's Liberation Army has no intention of robbing and killing food. But Jin Sujun just thought too much. Result: the blank space was quickly captured by General Su. What about the more than 10 main forces on the battlefield? After several fierce battles, also a family heirloom of the People's Liberation Army. Give the bayonet a few brushes, and it will be solved. People think the Terrain Teaching Corps can also serve as a reserve force. Yan Xishan is good at it. Use this group of soldiers who used to be Little Japan. The battlefield turned clouds and rain. I saw my team suffer serious losses. Yan Xishan had to order the 10th column to play. Intent to restore the decline? Where do you know that the People's Liberation Army has just made a big splash? The battlefield is defeated in one place, although the Terrain Teaching Corps. Commander Zhao bears the testimony. But everything is in the hands of a post-war, the Japanese who still have fantasies. Among newbies, this dude still has militaristic dreams on his mind. I am not convinced by the People's Liberation Army. The People's Liberation Army understands. This time I have to make him bow down. At first, the People's Liberation Army is also worried that the other side is still sitting on heavy artillery. It seems that this rolled up sleeves, hard steel. However, the artillery captured on the battlefield earlier greatly enhanced the arsenal. Now I have the confidence. And pretty soon the cannons were coming out of nowhere. Su Shuai led a team with full firepower. Guns roar. The appalling scene in the enemy position. Let everyone be stunned. All Yan Xishan's eyes are as stable as Mount Tai's line of defense. In this round of offensive, he had to admit defeat and retreat. So, the People's Liberation Army showed its talents in this decisive battle. Really accomplished a brilliant breakthrough. Unexpectedly for the People's Liberation Army, they actually faced each other again on the battlefield. Former enemy Japanese soldiers. This discovery instantly ignited the fighting passion of the People's Liberation Army. Because most of the soldiers who went to war, they all come from this devastated land in Shanxi. The history of that night during the anti-Japanese war, the people of Shanxi will never forget. Facing these old enemies, the People's Liberation Army does not plan to let go of bullets and shells easily. Seems too gentle, watching the twists and turns. Its soldiers brandishing bayonets, close combat. Only then can the flame of revenge be released happily. Even if you just joined the army, the new recruits with the power to go online. They showed no fear in this confrontation. Charge. He wouldn't leave even if he was injured. The Japanese army was in this frenzied charge. Experienced unprecedented panic. Yuan Shinshin has completely changed his previous opinion. But he just wanted to get rid of the reinforcements. The bayonets of the People's Liberation Army have already broken in. After the battle, almost all the soldiers at the Japanese headquarters fell, although Yuan Shinshin escaped. But he didn't get far before he was wounded by a grenade. Fall to the altar. No more arrogance. Finally, in despair, his life came to an end. So far, the 10th Corps has been wiped out. The Battle of Jinjiang also ended. Yuan Shinshin put all his family assets in. Failed miserably. When all the dust settles, one has to ask, in the period following the end of the anti-Japanese war, why are the Japanese still showing up on the battlefield? It all starts with Yuan Shinshin. In 1948, shortly after the successful conclusion of the anti-Japanese war, on the surface, Japan has bowed and surrendered. But in fact, on the Chinese battlefield, there's still a nest of people who refuse to bow down. The madmen of Japanese militarism. The spatula in their hands turned into bayonets. They want to make a comeback on the mainland. The beautiful Great China is, for them, it is full of sweet dreams. Yuan Shinshin, the old fox, secretly used Changtang. Take these remaining Japanese troops. Collect like smuggled goods. They are the famous Japanese army. 14th Independent Infantry Brigade. Although this brigade is a remnant. But there are more than 10,000 people. They all look like war eagles. The equipment is passable. To hide? Prevent missing meals at night? Yuan Shinshin changed the house number. He made a name for himself. These wolves wear sheep's clothing. The combat effectiveness is sharp enough. Yuan Shinshin even prepared for a rainy day. Treat him as a treasure. The wolves gradually bared their fangs. Doing things everywhere is impersonal. Killing the common people. Full of evil. Some dirty shit. Naturally aroused the righteous indignation of the righteous. Although some people have exposed these dark secrets. Snitch. But Yuan Shinshin only sees military power. Disregard for public opinion. The reporter was kicked away. Yuan Shinshin is busy. Hurt the cauliflower and didn't save the backbone. The Battle of Jinjiang is amazing. Helped the People's Liberation Army for the next move to Taiyuan. The march paved the way. Ended Yuan Shinshin in Gouo, Shanxi. 38 years. Those fantasy baths. The dream of the Japanese army and the Japanese invaders reborn by fire. Completely broken. Sushuai's name is so famous. Created a miracle in the history of the Sino-Japanese War.